This is a Cincy fan talking with LP. You can catch me on Twitter. That's a Cincy fan talking. You say it like it sounds, just leave off the G. If you have ideas for the show, you can reach me at Cincy_fan talk at yahoo.com. If you have any suggestions for the show, make sure you leave them there. Who knows, you might find yourself as part of the show. Any feedback would be definitely appreciated. And also, make sure you hit the Linktree page that's on my Twitter. Make sure you click on that. You can find all the different ways to contact me there. Enjoy the show. What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody out there in the podcast land? Welcome to another episode of A Cincy Fan Talking with LP. And of course, this is LP. And honestly, I'm surprised your boy got a voice right now. From all the yelling and screaming I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, it's outrageous. We're gonna go ahead and talk about all of that. Um, let's just go ahead and hop into it now. We got that. We're gonna do a small little bit of birthday talk and how we preparing for the birthday since this is birthday week. But it's also Bengals week, which is surprising to say in the fourth week of January. It is wild. I can't sit up here and say I expected it because I would be lying. I would really be lying to y'all right now if I said, yeah, I knew the Bengals was going all the way. Nah, I'm not the type of guy. I'm not gonna hold y'all up like that. Um, I will say I expected this season next year. I expected us to be good this year, not great but good, and I expected next year for us to just kind of take the cake. But hey, this that year and these them boys, you got to really give it to them. We're gonna get a little bit into the game and how the house was reacting to the game. We're gonna go ahead and jump into that. Um, I was talking about this on Twitter. I sincerely apologize if you follow me on Twitter, and I would say just mute me for real. Like on Sunday, just mute me from 3 to 7 if you don't want to like see a constant stream of the game and me losing my ever loving mind on the game, because that's what I was doing on Twitter for the past 2 weeks. I just been I wouldn't call it like a commentary on the game. It's more like me expressing how I feel and what I think is gonna happen next. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's like, man, this guy must be really going through it. But we really going through it. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and set up how the last 2 Saturdays have gone. We wake up, we kind of run through our Saturday routine, which is us doing absolutely positively nothing. Like I might go get a haircut, but other than that, nobody really does anything on Saturday morning. We just happy to make it through the week. The kids sleep longer. We get up at some point and just chill. And then I head over to La Rosa's. And if you're from Cincinnati, you know La Rosa's is an all time staple. And I order 20 medium wings, 20 barbecue wings, and 2 pizzas. I'm not a superstitious kind of guy. I'm really not. I told y'all that in the previous episode. I'm not big on superstitions and curses, although sometimes I think that stuff is real. But for the most part, I'm not really on that. But I did it when the Bengals played the Raiders and they won. So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and get it again. And by this time, like LaRose is happy to see me. They like, man, you spent about 65, like 50, 60 in here. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So pick up the food. We sit down and watch the game. When I say we, it's basically me and the wife. Cause the kids want nothing to do with us. Cause we losing our minds, yelling at the television. Apparently we too loud. So that's what we basically doing. And I have to say, the Bengals are finding ways to win games that they probably shouldn't win. Let's be real. The Bengals got sacked 9 times. Burrow got sacked nine times. Nine. You are not supposed to win a game when your quarterback is on his backside 9 separate times. That's not supposed to happen. Burrow finds a way to get up, not go absolutely banoodles on his offensive line. And I was telling the wife this because she was losing her mind on this. And I'm like, all of these sacks are not on the offensive line. They're really not. Burrow has a gift and a curse of thinking that he can make a play no matter what. You see this trait in a lot of quarterbacks. Roethlisberger had the same trait. They hold on to the ball a little too long because they feel like they can make a play. But the offensive line can't block that long. This is not a great offensive line. So sacks occur. Some of these sacks are on the offensive line. I mean, if you're getting sacked 2 seconds after you get the ball in your hand, that's on the offensive line. Real talk. But some of these sacks happen and Burrow's holding the ball for 4 or 5 seconds. You got to give it up to the Titans secondary, and the play calling was a little bit beyond me because if you know your offensive line is having trouble, why are you calling these plays where it's going to take the quarterback a few beats to let somebody get open? That part was, I'm like, we got to get that tightened up. And the Titans knew what was going on. They was blitzing like maniacs, and this team doesn't even really blitz like that. So I'm sure it caught the Bengals off guard. They had some adjusting to do, but the Bengals found a way to win. And that's what really good teams do. You might not be having your best day, but they found a way to win. I have two guarantees. Two. Neither one of these guarantees will be that the Bengals are going to win the game. Guarantee number one, the offensive line will not play as trash as they did on Saturday. They will not. I see it like this. Rarely in life do you get a chance to do something over again. It just doesn't happen for you. Usually, if you mess something up, you got to wait a long time to get a shot, and that shot be the same thing, if that makes sense. When you screw up, you usually don't get a chance to make that right. The offensive line has a chance to completely flip the script on what they did on Saturday. And I know everybody's screaming, "Yeah, they trash. They should have drafted an O lineman in the draft." Really? You'd have passed on Jamar Chase? Seriously? Have you seen this man's season? We still saying that? The draft coming up will be the year to address that O line. We're in the here and now. And the Bengals O line, I can guarantee it. You will not see a 9 sack performance from the Chiefs. And I'm not saying that the Chiefs line is trash because they have some good backers and they have some pretty decent linemen on that defensive line. What I'm saying is this: the Bengals basically smoked that humble pack on that offensive line. Like they chiefed that to the face. Real talk. And I'm sure they're getting tracked. If you listen to a couple sports shows or you just stroll on Twitter a little bit, you will understand how absolutely demolished the offensive line is getting. They're like, man, the Bengals QB, I don't know how he completed all those passes laying on his back. Like people are actually saying this. As a professional, when you do your job poorly, you can't wait to get back at it if you really like that job. I know like on every now and again I'll have like an awful day in the classroom. It'll be just sucky. My lessons ain't hitting the way they should be hitting. The kids are acting goofy. They're not learning. Crazy stuff happens in the classroom. Nothing wild, but we're not getting anything done. And there'll be a couple classes, they'll kind of be trying to turn up a little bit. The day passes, And as a teacher, I'm not sitting there like, oh man, I do not want to see this class tomorrow. Nah, I'm in the lab. I'm like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. If so and so get unruly, I got this, I got this. I'm ready to get back to class the next day. I let the kids know. I'm like, look, this happened yesterday. We not having that today. Now we on some different stuff now. That's how the Bengals offensive line will come out. As a professional, you will not get humbled like that again. You kind of take a pride in that. You're like, we saw what happened to our QB. We hear everything that's going on. We're coming out here with a purpose. So I'm not concerned about the offensive line at all this week because of what happened last week. That's my first guarantee. You will not see a super trash offensive line play. You won't. Guarantee number two. This game will be close. Now again, I'm not saying that the Bengals are going to take the cake. Like, I'm not about to guarantee that. But you got people just writing the Bengals off as if the Bengals haven't beat the Chiefs already. Well, they got lucky, and they had a penalty at the end of the game that helped them. Yada yada yada. There's luck happens. People get lucky. Teams get lucky. But in order to be lucky, you got to be good. There are a whole lot of lucky teams that had things break for them that's sitting at home right now because they couldn't capitalize on the luck that they got. Every team's going to get lucky. In order to win a Super Bowl or a national championship or a World Series, you got to be a little lucky. You got to be. Injuries have to break the right way for you. You got to avoid COVID. You're going to play a very close game and you got to find a way to pull it out. You're going to have to be a little lucky and a whole lot of good. The Bengals have been a little lucky this season, this year in the playoffs. I'm not going to hold you up. They've been a little lucky in this playoff season. You saw the pass against the Raiders where the whistle blew. Yeah, the whistle blew. I don't think it would have affected the play too much, but according to the rules, the play should have been stopped and they should have did it over again. I went over that last week. So the Bengals got a little lucky, but also in that same game, the offense came through. The defense held it down when it needed to. That's not luck. That's being good. Same thing against Tennessee. You get sacked 9 times, you're supposed to lose that game. The Bengals were good enough to win the game. So sure, the Bengals are a little lucky, and they got lucky against the Chiefs a little bit. But the Bengals did something in that game that Buffalo wished they could have done in the divisional playoff. I don't know if you remember this. In the game against the Chiefs, the Bengals got the ball with about 6 minutes left and the score is tied. The Bengals held the ball for the entire 6 minutes. They didn't give Mahomes a chance to win the game. The Bengals got down to about the 3 or 4 yard line and basically stayed there. They're like, you're not going to get a chance to beat us, buddy. I don't know what you're talking about, but we're going to hold this ball for as long as we can, kick this field goal, and walk into the playoffs. That's just smart right there. Now, nothing against Buffalo because, I mean, you get a chance to score on 4th and 11, you're not stopping at the 1. You're taking that to the house. But I'm pretty sure Buffalo wishes they could have found a way to slow that clock up. And that game was just phenomenal, by the way. But that shows that the Bengals are good enough to beat the Chiefs because guess what? They already beat the Chiefs. So a lot of people are saying, yeah, we just saw the Super Bowl when we saw the Bills and the Chiefs, yada, yada, yada. But mark my words on this. This will be a very close game. I feel like whoever gets the ball last will probably win this game. I don't think it's going to be a shootout, but I feel like the Bengals will play very well in this game. So, my two guarantees, you will see, I won't say great O line play, but you'll see line play with the Bengals that's definitely a step or two ahead of where they were on Saturday. And this game is going to be a close game. You will not see the Chiefs blow the Bengals out. Those are my two things. If you're looking for a prediction, you can go ahead and catch it on Twitter. I'm still kind of thinking about what the final score will be. I'm gonna say the Bengals are gonna win. I'm gonna predict that, but I'm not gonna guarantee that because it's tough to make a guarantee against the Chiefs. You can't sit up here and be like, "Yup, final score," and I guarantee. Nah, the Chiefs too good for that. We not about to hold anybody up on that regard. We know what the Chiefs are coming in and what they're working with. I'm just saying the Bengals are pretty confident as well. You got a whole lot of people writing the squad off. They'll be here. Now we gotta talk overtime, and I don't know. So many things relate to the school atmosphere, man. Like when you think about it, life is middle school. Like everything that goes on, I can relate to a middle school experience that I've seen from teaching. Overtime is simply that middle school experience. We'll play games in class sometimes because you can't teach the entire day and expect to build solid relationships with kids. You can't do that. So every now and again, they do their work and we'll play a game or whatever. Um my colleagues from way back in the day and myself, we started playing this game called Silent Ball. It's a real simple game. The ball goes around. You can throw the ball at anybody you want to. You're not allowed to talk, and you can't drop the ball. If one of those things happen, you out of the game. All of the kids know the rules before they start. We make it clear. We even do a little practice. We'll just play the game, but it doesn't count. We'll let everybody know the rules. Hey, you can't make sounds with your mouth. No clucking. No. You literally cannot speak during this game. Well, you got to sit down. You can't drop the ball, or you're out. Real simple rules. You can't throw the ball to the person next to you. You can't throw the ball to the person who threw it to you. So you can't just go back and forth with it. We'll do the practice rounds, and it's all good. No problems. Kids will mess up. We'll be like, see what you did there? You can't do that. All right? So when we play for real, you can't do that. Okay, Mr. Parker. No problem, no problem. It's all good, right? We start the game. When you know it, somebody accidentally talks, somebody laughs real loud, we're like, you're out. No, I get a do-over. I should get a do-over. Man, these rules dumb. But you knew the rules going in, right? But that don't mean we should follow them. Man, that don't mean they good rules. Man, this game dumb. This is essentially what happens for the first few times we play Silent Ball. And we just got to let them know the rules aren't changing. The rules are going to stay the same. You might not like the rules, but you knew the rules going in, right? We practiced the rules. So you might be upset, but we're not changing them. Sorry. You do get to play again. That's what the overtime rules are for me. That's exactly what it's like. You don't hear people complaining about overtime until a team that they want to win loses, or a really, really good game is decided in an overtime period and another team doesn't get the ball. That's basically what happened. Everybody knows the overtime rules. They're very simple. We play until somebody scores. Simple. Both teams will get the ball unless the team that wins the toss scores a touchdown. If that happens, the game is over. Now, the rules used to be more messed up than that. It used to be first score, period. So you could just drive down the field, kick a field goal, and it's out. It's over. Now, you get the ball back as long as you don't let the other team score a touchdown. These are the rules. They've been in place for about 10 years now. So why are we acting all dumbfounded now that a really, really, really good game got decided because the Chiefs got the ball first, drove 75 yards down the field, and scored a touchdown? This is bigger than, oh, well, they should have played defense. If they would have played defense, they would have won. It's bigger than that. Forget that. Scrap all of that. Throw that out the way. You knew the overtime rules going in as a fan. You know the rules. If you don't like the rules, this is something that the NFL committee needs to change. They need to say, "Oh well, what's happening is it seems like the team that gets the ball first, they always win," which is not true. 11 times there have been overtime games in the playoffs. Now, the team that wins the coin toss, they're 10-1. Sounds crazy, right? But only 7 times has that team scored first. Meaning, in the other games, that team either kicked the field goal or didn't score. And then the other team either kicked the field goal or didn't score. The rules are fair. There's not a single overtime rule that you can create that's going to make everybody happy. It's not going to happen. It's like me making rules in the classroom. I'm not going to be able to make rules that are going to make everybody happy. It's not going to happen. If I make the silent ball game so that, okay, if you get out, you got to sit down, but you get to get back up after 5 minutes. The people playing are going to be like, dude, how am I going to win? I just got all these people out and they keep getting back up. Meanwhile, people getting back in are like, yeah, this is cool. Nobody's going to be completely happy with the rules. The rules have to be, what's the word? Equal enough. They have to be equal enough to give everybody a shot, unless something happens that's not supposed to happen. In my mind, I see it like this. If you get the ball first, start at the 25-yard line, and drive 75 yards down the field to score a touchdown, why should the other team get a chance to get the ball back? That doesn't make sense to me. If the team drives down the field and they kick a field goal, anybody can do that. The other team should get a chance to do that as well. If it was so easy to drive 75 yards down the field and score a touchdown, wouldn't games end up being like 56-56 or something like that? That just doesn't happen all of the time. Drives stall out so many times in the NFL, and people end up kicking field goals or punting or something like that. I feel like that's why this rule is in place. Both teams get a chance to get the ball unless somebody scores a touchdown first. If that happens, the game is over. And I feel like that's really realistic because think about it like this. You give the Chiefs the ball, they score a touchdown. You give the Bills the ball back, in these new rules. The Bills score a touchdown. And then after that, this keeps happening. Nobody scores, nobody scores. What's really happening is you're creating a disadvantage to the team that wins because the Bengals are going to be playing a team that's really not fresh at all. They've already dragged tail out there to play 60 full minutes. Then they got to keep playing until somebody scores, even though both teams scored touchdowns. I mean, that's ridiculous. You got to think about the health of the team, and you also have to think about the creative disadvantage you're making to the team that wins. And I'm sure the Bengals will be sitting back like, hey, let them play all night. Let them play until tomorrow morning because we got to go see them, and we're seeing a team that's not as fresh. It wouldn't be fair. That's the thing. And you're not going to get fairness anyway. So why not create a system that's fair enough, that's equal enough? And I think that's what we have right here. I mean, if y'all want to, we can go ahead and change it to the college rules and give both teams a chance to score from the 25-yard line, and these games will last all night. I mean, we can do that. Hey, to me, I feel like it's fair. Nobody's going to be completely happy, but that's how you know you got a good rule. I always say that. If I make a rule in class that nobody's completely 100% happy with, I feel like I kind of won. Because I'm not creating the rules to make everybody happy. I'm creating rules to make everything fair and equal in the classroom. And that's what this OT rule does. You're not trying to be popular. You're not trying to make it so the games last all week. You're trying to make it so that we can get a definitive winner and that team can win. and not be drop dead tired to play again next week. And I don't think a lot of people get that. People are really focused on, I want to see a great game right now, and not thinking, well, damn, this team got to play next week too. And then you'll hear the excuses. Oh well, the Bengals only won because so and so was super tired after playing for 60 minutes and then another 30 minutes. Nah, miss me with that. The OT rules are fair. You leave them the way that they are, and you get more data. If this keeps happening over and over and over again after like 30, 40 games, then maybe you switch it. But right now, I don't really think it's a big enough sample size to be doing that. 11 games and we about to freak out and make a change? Nah, I don't see that. You got a Cincy fan talking with LP? We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Princess, and I'm Queen. This is Daddy.
You have to say, and this is a Cincy fan talking with LP.
And this is a sensitive fan talking with LP Daddy.
Nice job.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the pod, y'all. So, as stated earlier in the pod, it is birthday week. Yep. OOLP is uh, getting close to being OLP. and I had a few people telling me, man, you about 5 years past OLP. OLP. I'm like, whoa, slow down. So we about to turn the big 4-3. Yep. Blessed enough to hear people say you don't look that at all, but I really think they just want to borrow money or something. That's my honest opinion. Um, hey, so I was thinking last week, like, what can I do that's different? Like, you kind of get into your own zone and start doing the same stuff all the time, especially around birthdays. You kind of want to step out and do something different. And I'm like, dang, is this that middle age crisis people talking about? Like, is this that? Is it happening? I'm like, should I get the motorcycle now or should I just wait? Then I started thinking about insurance premiums and all that. Then I knew I was old. Like, but I'm like, what can I do that's different? Like, what's out here that's different? And I don't know why, but it just popped in my head. Something I always wanted to know how to do, but I never really found the time, and I always thought it was too hard. Was juggle, and I'm like, dang, this really is a midlife crisis. Like, wow, it's hitting hard. I'm really looking up YouTube videos about juggling right now. This is really happening. This is tough. And the more I started looking at it, the more I realized how hard it was. I'm looking like, I can't do this. I need to find something else. But my brain is kind of wired in a way to where the second I say I'm going to do something, I really don't stop until I do it. And I started like kicking myself, like, dang, you really put this on your shoulders, LP. You really did that. Because I already pushed the video. I already ordered the juggling balls. Like, I already did that. So now, because of my impulsiveness and me trying to avoid the middle age crisis, I ran smack dab into the middle age crisis with no helmet on. Like, I really did this. I'm trying to juggle. Like, and it's so funny because I'm always telling the kids, like, you know, stuff will be really difficult at first. And the more you do it, the less difficult it is until you get to a point where it's not hard at all. And then you looking back at it, showing other people how to do it, like, dang, I really thought this trash was hard. Like, I remember how hard this was. Yeah, I ain't there yet. But I've gotten to the point where I can juggle all three of the juggling balls one time. And that was a feat for your boy because at first they tell you to like just start with one ball and throw the ball up to a certain point. And I'm like, I can't throw this ball with my left hand. What's wrong with me? Like, it was difficult with just one ball throwing it to the right spot and catching it, then throwing it with the left hand, throwing it with the right hand. But eventually I started doing that. So I'm like, okay, I'll just try two now. And it took me a little bit to get past that. Like now I'm on the three, and I'm still struggling with this, y'all. Like my wife looking at me like, dude, what's wrong with you? She just looking, and the first thing she said, do I have to move this stuff out the way so you won't break it? I'm like, I'm that bad? She like, no, but shaking her head, yeah. Like, I'm like, that's real petty of you. So she clearing stuff out of the living room so I won't run into it. I spent the first day just chasing the balls, like trying to catch it but dropping it, catching it but dropping it. Now to the point where I can juggle all three, like one, two, three, and it actually looks like I'm juggling. Like I'm not just throwing the ball to one side and then like I'm not doing that. I'm actually juggling all three of the balls one time. I can't master the part where they in the left hand. I got to throw it up. I'm still working on that, but it's it's one of those things where I'm always telling the kids something. Like I'm always telling my own kids, stuff is always difficult until you do it, and then once you do it and you keep doing it, you'll get it. I didn't realize how little attention I pay to myself. Like, and I think as adults we kind of get into that. We say things to people. We give advice to people. We give advice to kids or whatever. But rarely do we look in ourselves and go like, this is advice that I need to follow. Instead of looking outward for advice and for people to kind of assist me with stuff, sometimes you kind of got to look in yourself and go like, I have the wherewithal to do certain things, and it's kind of like in me. I just got to bring it out and be a little more confident in my abilities when it comes to something I don't know how to do. And the one thing I'm learning from juggling is that like you gonna fail a lot. Like like I'm to the point where it doesn't bother me when people look at me like doing it and I'm just failing at it. Like I'm cool with it. Now at first I didn't want to try it in front of the wife and kids. Like I didn't want them to see me like out here like because I'm like, man, they gonna laugh. And then I start thinking like, damn, that's how the kids be feeling. Like that's really how the kids go. They're always like, I don't want to do this because what if somebody see me and I don't know how to do it? And I'm like, they don't know how to do it. Like they're struggling, and the ones that aren't struggling will come over and help you. They'll be like, "Look, here's how you do it. Here's how I got taught how to do it. So here's how I think you should do it." And it's just so funny to me that all this time I've been saying this stuff to kids, I've been saying this stuff to people. I get this advice to adults, and my dumb butt sitting up here like acting out like, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait till they leave and I'm gonna do it." Then I'm like, dude, like just do it. Just fail a couple of times. And at first, my wife's kind of staring at me like, "You all right over there?" And after a while, it was just like, "Doop doop fumble fumble." I'm like, I'm just right back at it, right back at it. And I think that's how I kind of got to the point where I can do all three at once, one time. Now, I'm not claiming victory, like because I got a certain place where I want to be with this to where like I'm actually juggling like for real, not just one time but continuously. And I ain't there yet, but I definitely feel like I'm at a better place than when I started. And I think that's kind of what I want to like tell everybody. Stuff looks difficult. I remember when podcasting looked difficult. I'm like, check, check, check. Like my first episode, man, y'all look. I was so nervous. I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know what to do with my hands. Like, I'm like, do I just sit them right here on the desk? Do I hold the microphone? Like, like what do I do? And at some point, I'm just like, look, I'm just gonna put this out here, and maybe three people will listen to it, and maybe they'll come back and listen to another one. Like, well, I was like terrified. I'm like, why am I doing this? And then I thought about it, like, damn, you told yourself you were gonna do a podcast this year. And that's how I basically started. So, real talk for anybody that's really trying to do anything, and they feel like they don't know how to do it, or they feel like it's too hard, or they're afraid to do it, my advice would be, yo, just do it. Just go ahead and fail. Like, it's cool. Like, it really is okay to fail at stuff, because everything I learned was from failing. Everything. Like, even this juggling stuff. Like, I throw it too high, I'm like, okay, throw it lower. I throw it too far to the left, I'm like, okay, bring it in a little bit. Like, that's how you learn. I really don't know anybody who succeeded at something the first time. I don't. I'm racking my brain to kind of think about it, but I don't know people like that. I'm sure you out there, you don't know people like that. You know people that does stuff easily now, but you might remember when they first started and they was like, yo, I don't know. I don't know about this. Maybe I should stop. And when you want to quit, that's usually the time where you got to push a little bit harder and you're about to break through. I think I kind of found that out in life. Normally, that time you want to quit is when you almost there, and you just got to push a little bit harder. So when you think you can't do something, when you really really want to quit at it, just push a little bit more, because you closer than you think. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna break something in this house at some point from juggling. And the balls aren't even that big. Like, they these real small. They feel like hacky sacks, but they're round. And it's not like they're made of plastic, or like, stone or whatever, but they go everywhere. I'm kind of reining it in now to the point where, I can kind of keep them just straight up. But yo, this house better watch out. I don't know, man. But I'm gonna keep trying. I keep y'all updated. I don't think you're gonna see me like in a circus or something like that, but I just think it'd be pretty. It's something pretty cool to do. So I could just impress classes, or I don't know, the kids around. Like, look, you can do that, and then I kind of show them how to do it. So I don't know. I'll keep you posted. Um, as far as the birthday, hey, um, I'm easy. As long as you can just drop a listen or drop a review saying how much you like the show or whatever, that's all I really need for the B day. That and the Bengals win. I'm requesting that. Like, give me a Bengals win on Sunday for my birthday. Just give me that. Um, if you can find a way to make that happen, I appreciate you. Um, we out as always, y'all. Life is good. Catch y'all later. Peace out. If you're not ready for the conversation to end, I'm not either. Make sure to catch me on Twitter. That's the Cincy Fan Talking. Leave off the G at the end of it, and we can keep the conversation going. Also, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button so you can catch the next episodes. The episodes will drop every Tuesday. If there's a change in that, I'll make sure to let you know. Appreciate the support. As always, life is good.